Do you ever think that you're making your life more difficult and more complicated than it actually needs to be? We can cram so much into our schedules thinking it will give us greater happiness and prosperity, but being busy and overworked is not the same as being productive. A full calendar doesn't mean a fulfilled life. In this video, I want to share 5 ways to simplify your life inspired by minimalist productivity. It's all about getting things done. Hello, welcome to Better Creating. I'm Simon. If you've not been here before, this channel is all about simplifying creative life. And to that end, this is the first in a series on how minimalist thinking can help us live a simpler, more productive and stress-free life. This short series is about finding simple ways to shift our mindset to invite more simplicity into our life so we can hone in on the important things. Success and achievement seem like the goals that make everything better. But by cramming our days full with meetings, activities, deadlines and tasks, we can increase our anxiety and stress levels through overstimulation. In juggling family, work and our other interests, it can often be impossible to do everything at 100% and survive. Trust me, burnout's a real thing. It's easy to look at simple living and see it as sitting quietly in a small room, letting things just kind of pass you by. But I believe simple living can sit hand in hand with also living a successful, productive and creative career. Slowly becoming a minimalist is helping me go further with my creative work and find a better balance between work and the rest of my life. So, here are 5 tips from the Minimalist Playbook to help you simplify your work life and get things done. Number 1 is about using your mornings for the one thing. So authors Gary Keller and Jay Papasan wrote The One Thing, and they advocate working out what is the most important thing in your life to focus on. Their book centres around asking, what is the one thing that you can do this week such that by doing it, everything else would be easier or unnecessary? I think the first step towards this is ensuring that you do the important stuff first in your day. It means that we are most energised to do it early, but secondly, that we don't spend the first part of our day doing one thing whilst worrying or being distracted about the thing we think we really should be. At the moment, I found that taking time to work on the main creative project I'm developing early means I can enjoy the afternoons doing less urgent or reflective tasks guilt-free. For example, writers should spend the first hours of their day writing. Getting results is about doing the right thing, not everything right. Simplify and excel. Very minimalist. Working hard versus hard work. Let me explain what I mean. It's easy to be seduced by the idea that work will be painful and exhausting if we're making fast progress or going further. Just like owning more things can feel like we are more successful and happy, this can in fact be a presumption we have just signed up to blindly. Shifting our perspective to analyse the work we do by impact rather than the time and effort spent can be an amazing way to reduce our workload whilst making just as much progress, if not more. This is about decluttering your daily grind to focus on the essential, most impactful ways to move forward productively in what you're doing. As Gary Keller says, it's not that we have too little time to do all the things we need to do, it's that we feel the need to do too many things in the time we have. I'm really bad at this. My partner is always saying to me, you're trying to fit too much into this small amount of time. I go, no, I can achieve it. I can film the video this morning, edit it this afternoon, and I'll be on my way. Right now, what is it? It's late on a Wednesday. I'm going to be putting this out tomorrow and I'm still filming bits. So rather than working hard on multiple different focuses, if we just focus on one, what's good is that can actually be really difficult. Something being difficult, being hard to do is not a bad thing. It usually means we're making progress and we're stepping into new territory. So the other benefit of simplifying what you focus on and making space for deep work on a specific area is that you can make progress. You're daring yourself to go deeper and further into an area of thinking. It's exactly the same as what Marie Kondo says about how we should simplify our belongings and our things and tidy, the art of tidying. We can do the same with thoughts, get everything out on the table and go, what is essential? What brings value to me? What brings joy and clarity? Number 3, schedule specific time for deep work. Many of us have jobs that require frequent and wide-ranging collaboration and communication every day with other people. companies and projects thrive on it. And to be honest, it's how I make most of my freelance work, in a room with a group of people. But as my partner has recently expressed to me, this can mean it's increasingly difficult to carve out proper time to find clear, focused space to do deeper thinking, finish that proposal, or hone that report. What would happen if you spoke to everyone that you work with and suggested that you took 2 hours of each day when no one could reach you and you were offline? It's amazing what a change that will make. Most people are actually surprised how easily colleagues adapt to make space for you without your work with them suffering. If anything, you'll probably be more intentional and precise in your meetings and spend less time doing it, getting as much done. Number 4, ever heard of the planning fallacy? Beware the planning fallacy. So like it or not, most of us carry an optimism bias and underestimate the time needed to complete a future task. According to Daniel Kahneman in Thinking Fast and Slow, the planning fallacy is that you make a plan, which is usually a best case scenario, then you assume that the outcome will follow your plan, even when you should know better. We hopefully predict that we will complete our own planned projects unrealistically, where conversely, outsiders are more likely to show a pessimistic bias. The result is an overloaded and packed daily experience. Too much to do in too short a time is the same as a messy and cluttered space. Too many things that have far less value. The possible does not always equal the plausible. And we don't see it. Or that it's even likely to lead to a crisis, a problem, not achieving our goals, or even worse, a breakdown. Now, I've seen this planning fallacy come up in the live theatre productions that I tend to work on so often. What can happen is we don't account for obstacles, unforeseen problems, developments, creative developments that allow us to go, oh, we want to try something else. Oh, we've not got time to do it. Let's try it anyway. Those things get in the way, and later down the line, it means that we're not able to achieve the quality in the work later on because we're just kind of against the clock, taking into account the planning fallacy, adding, let's say, literally 50% early on to what you think it's going to take, far from reducing the productive approach you're taking by what you think is doubling the time. What you're actually doing is allowing space to make each period of time be about quality rather than quantity. It follows that brilliant minimalist mantra to design, which is less but better. Whilst it might take longer, think about the value that you're offering and how much further that will take you in the future when you're able to share something brilliant as opposed to lots of rubbish. Lots of rubbish. Let me know in the comments below. Do you believe in the planning fallacy? Let's talk about learning to say no. It's all too easy to say yes to opportunities, requests for help and work that aren't really what we should be prioritising. We need to value our time and energy highly. They are our greatest asset. By being very careful about what we say yes to, we can go further in the direction we really want to be going. If I'm honest, I spend a lot of time worrying about letting people down or what other people think of me, and it gets in the way of making sure I'm travelling in a direction that I actually want to be travelling. We can waste so much time looking after others' feelings and experiences that we actually forget to look after our own. And the good news is, you're more replaceable than you think. What? No, that is good news because it means that others won't be as upset as you may think if you say no because it doesn't align with your goals and values. We are all the protagonists in our own story, so sometimes it's just best to focus on your own. Saying no more at the moment as I make this video in 2020 with so little work in the live performing arts can be a really scary thing to do. And I'm not suggesting that we all have that privilege to be able to say no. But what I found really interesting is that approach to being able to go, what is it I really actively, intentionally want to say yes to, has meant that I've sought out work with more intention. I'm trying to find ways to invest my time in more meaningful long-term projects. So those are my first 5 ways to simplify your life. In the next video in the series, I'm going to look at work-life balance. So it's much more about how we can live calmly, more simply, and find better separation between work and all the stuff that perhaps matters a little bit more. If you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe so you can see more of my videos pop up in your feed and you don't miss that video. You might also enjoy all of this stuff around Notion, building productivity systems, minimalism, and a big thank you to all of you that have subscribed so far. At the point of recording this video, we just passed 500 subscribers. It means a lot, it's becoming a thing. Thanks. So, I'll see you in the next video, I guess. Yeah, bye.